departing route to Bondi Beach. Stay in the middle lane. At the lights, turn left onto Barker Street. In about 1 kilometre, at the roundabout, take the second exit.
Kensington in Sydney's east has a long history, beginning with Gadigal Aboriginal occupation around the Lachlan Swamps, followed by 19th century estates and industry, then its transformation into a residential suburb with major institutions like University of New South Wales and National Institute of Dramatic Art. It has been shaped by horse racing, tobacco manufacture, Catholic religious institutions and post-war migration, and is now a dense, university-focused inner suburb within Randwick City. In the early 1800s, the district was taken up as large estates, including land granted to ex-convict entrepreneur Samuel Terry in 1819, and to Daniel Cooper and his partner Solomon Levy from 1825. The area carried several names over the 19th century: Lachlan Mills Estate, Stanhamville, and then Epsom, before the residential subdivision of the late 1880s when it was renamed Kensington, intended to evoke the prestige of London's Kensington. Kensington initially developed as an industrial suburb, with land use including mills and later factories, rather than purely residential villas.
At the roundabout, take the second exit, then take the first left onto Avoca Street. At the lights, turn left onto Avoca Street. In about 1.5 kilometres, bear right onto Frenchman's Road.
The Kensington Racecourse opened in 1893 on land now occupied by the University of New South Wales. It hosted midweek pony racing and polo, and during the Boer War and both World Wars it served as a military camp, including training ground for many of the first Anzacs, Australian and New Zealand Army Corps, in 1914 and later as a migrant hostel in the late 1940s.
In 1 kilometre, bear right onto Frenchman's Road.
In the 2010s, Randwick City Council prepared the Kensington and Kingsford K2K planning strategy to guide higher-density mixed-use redevelopment around the town centres, with key planning amendments gazetted in 2020 to manage growth while aiming for vibrant, prosperous and attractive centres. Bondi Beach in Sydney is a place of long Aboriginal use that became a public seaside resort in the late 1800s and then a world-famous surf beach and cultural icon during the 20th century. Its modern character grew from private estate picnic grounds, the legalization of daytime sea bathing, and the birth of organized surf lifesaving on its sands. The name Bondi is believed to come from an Aboriginal word, variously recorded as Bondi or similar, meaning the noise made by water breaking over rocks or surf.
Go past these lights, then at the next set, bear right. At the lights, use the right lane to bear right onto Frenchman's Road. In 800 metres, turn left onto Carrington Road.
From the late 1700s and early 1800s, European settlers also began visiting the beach, which lay some distance from Sydney town and was valued for recreation and escape from the city. In 1851, Edward Smith Hall and Francis O'Brien bought about 200 acres around the beach as the Bondi estate. By the 1850s-1870s, O'Brien controlled the estate, opened parts as a public picnic and pleasure ground, and promoted day trips for Sydneysiders.
At the next lights, turn left.
As crowds grew, O'Brien threatened to restrict access because of rowdy behavior, prompting public pressure and government concern.
At the lights, turn left onto Carrington Road. In about 1.5 kilometres, turn right onto Bondi Road.
In 1882, the New South Wales government formally reserved Bondi Beach as a public beach, ensuring permanent public access and setting the stage for its development as a popular seaside resort. Sea bathing was traditionally confined to early mornings or nights, but in 1902 Waverley Council legalised daylight bathing under certain modesty conditions, rapidly increasing the number of swimmers in the surf. In response to frequent drownings, the Bondi Surf Bathers Life-Saving Club was founded at a meeting at the Royal Hotel, Bondi, on the 21st of February, 1907, recognised as Australia's first recorded surf life-saving club and a model for the national movement.
At the next lights, turn right. At the lights, turn right onto Bondi Road. In 2 kilometers, at the roundabout, take the first exit.
By the 1920s and 1930s, Bondi Beach was a major working and middle-class recreation ground, easily reached by tram and lined with changing sheds and kiosks. The large Bondi Pavilion, opened in 1929, provided baths, change rooms, a ballroom and entertainment spaces, becoming the social and cultural heart of the beach and now a heritage-listed landmark. On the 6th of February, 1938, known as Black Sunday, a series of large waves swept hundreds of bathers off the sandbanks at Bondi. Lifesavers performed what is often described as one of the largest mass surf rescues, saving more than 200 people but unable to prevent several deaths.
In 1 kilometer, at the roundabout, take the first exit.
Through the mid-20th century, the beach remained central to Australian surf culture, even as trams were replaced by buses and car ownership changed how people reached the coast. From the 1970s onward, Bondi Beach increasingly appeared in films, television, and tourism promotion, helping cement its image as an international symbol of Sydney's laid-back, outdoor lifestyle.
At the roundabout, take the first exit, then the destination is on your left.
The Bondi Beach attack was a mass shooting at a Hanukkah event on Bondi Beach in Sydney on the 14th of December, 2025, killing 15 people, including a child, and injuring dozens more, making it the deadliest terror incident and second deadliest mass shooting in modern Australian history. The attackers used a rifle and a shotgun, firing from an elevated position near the Bondi Pavilion and into the gathered crowd of families and worshippers. More than 40 people, including at least 2 police officers, were injured and taken to hospital as police, surf lifesavers, and bystanders gave first aid and sheltered hundreds of people. Australian and New South Wales authorities have described the shooting as an Islamic State-linked terrorist act, motivated by antisemitism and deliberately targeting Jewish people celebrating Hanukkah. New South Wales Police declared a terrorist incident, launched Operation Arcs, and expanded existing counter-hate operations to increase security around Jewish sites and major venues. The New South Wales government has announced today as a day of reflection to honour victims of the Bondi Beach terrorist attack and emphasise community solidarity and safety. As seen here, preparations for the day of reflection are underway. Today the suburban beach combined dense apartment living, a strong cafe and surf culture, and restored heritage elements such as the Bondi Pavilion, while continuing long traditions of surf lifesaving and year-round swimming.